Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Commerce Gear. My name is Chi, and in this video we will talk about my current survival kit setup. What we are seeing right now is just a speed up clip of me laying out all the items of my kit onto the table. And before diving into any gear talk, I gotta warn you, this video may be a little longer than usual, so please bear with me, and I'd like to share with you my view on building a survival kit. Building a survival kit is part of my personal commitment in achieving outdoor safety. I say part of because I believe outdoor safety goes far beyond just relying on a kit. Careful planning, good preparation, collective skill set, emergency contacts, evacuation route, etc. I call this kit a no-budget survival kit because I really believe there shouldn't be a budget constraint on human survival. I'm not saying about unnecessary flashy gears that come with a blink, but whatever the best you could afford, best in terms of balance between function, performance, and size. Back to the kit. This kit took me a long time to construct and is constantly evolving. One of the reasons for taking so long to make this is mostly due to all the testing and comparison I want to do before putting them into the tin. They are what I consider the best for each survival priorities, and many have more than one use. I'm confident to say that, should the situation arise, and I have to depend my life on this kit, I will have no regrets on the selections I made inside. The items inside are based on my personal priorities for a 72 hours outdoor survival situation, and here's the list for my priorities. This list is also printed on paper, inside and outside of the kit, along with some basic instructions just to remind myself what's available to use, what to do, and when to replace them. The very immediate items I find in the kit will be the items for first aid and signal. It just makes life a whole lot easier when I'm seriously injured or not to miss a chance for perfect opportunity to alert the rescuers. The bandage and gauze pad are pretty self-explaining. The alcohol wipe could be doubled as tinder when needed. Gorilla tape could be used to secure the gauze pad, beef up the four corners of a minor sheet for a top, or even used as impromptu cordage. Aspirin, besides being a painkiller, could be useful for potential heart attack. I included multiple Imodium and ciproxin because diarrhea may lead to dehydration. Even though I've included means to purify water in the kit, there is no guarantee the water will agree with my stomach. In a 72-hour still rescue scenario, some may advise to drink water even untreated, because the risk of having diarrhea may still be better than dehydration. But regardless of whatever circumstances, stopping diarrhea will conserve water inside body, which makes it a high priority to me. Ciproxin or Cipro is a prescription drug and often used by a doctor to treat invasive or explosive diarrhea. If you do not have doctor's prescription to it, I would suggest to consider OTC drug like Imodium in the kit to control the diarrhea. The last item I do like to discuss is Silox pack. There are controversy about use of Silox since it may form microcrystallization in the bloodstream and it could be harmful to you many years down the line. I'm not a doctor or medical professional, so I can't verify that information, but if help is at least few hours away and I need to treat artery bleeding with blood squirting out, I will not hesitate to use it as a last resort, especially when the serious bleeding don't slow down after pressure is applied. Medication and first aid items usually comes with an expiration date, and I tend to write them down on the list inside and outside the kit, so I know it's time to replace them. Cell phone is simply the fastest and easiest way to communicate. I like to mention this, sometimes when you're out of range, do a text message anyway, it may get through. It has something to do with how the message is being handled and transferred, and sometimes cell phones do get very quick and small reception, which may allow that. Also, if you plan to use it as a form to communicate, establish some alternative signal or communication protocol, especially when your cell phone battery is ready to die. DQG AAA flashlight is one of the smallest AAA LED flashlight I could find on market right now. I use one for EDC and can vouch for its practicality, but some online forum discussion did report that some batch of them have flaws, so be sure it works before putting one in the kit. Light is very important, and this particular one will have 2 levels of output to choose from, so I could conserve energy for longer use. I also like a beam pattern with balance between hotspot and side spill, so it could be used for signaling while useful in close distance. AMK signal mirror is one of the signal items that I put on person the moment I'm in survival mode. I think it would be really silly if I hear a plane or heli flying by and I still have to fish out my gears just to signal. 4-7 whistle is a small whistle, and the reason I choose not to carry a large whistle is because the distance a whistle sound can travel is very limited, especially in dense woods. Depending what type of whistle, people may only be able to hear you when they are just few hundred feet away from you. I like this whistle because it has a high pitch, and that kind of pitch seems to carry a little further in my experiments. This is a green 3 mW laser with pattern diffuser. This is totally experimental, and I have to stress that flashing this to any flying plane is illegal. I only include this because it is almost as small as a DQG flashlight, so it could double as a battery carrier. And with the diffuser, I could shine the pattern on trees or ground so I could be located easier. To me, shelter group probably is the shortcoming for most teen-size survival kit, and I always carry this kit with at least a large mylar sheet for 2 persons to remedy this. I sometimes carry a disposable transparent raincoat with it. Shelter could come in many form and shape, and it doesn't always necessarily mean building something to sleep in. So as long I could rest relatively safe and regulate my body temperature with ease, that's a good shelter solution to me. The 65-pound fishing line is a compromise between performance and size. I've tested with 120-pound line, but in reality they are just too thick, and I will need to carry a much larger roll of it to have any real use. The Kevlar line is made by a group called 69 Degrees South. Kevlar has pretty high tensile strength, and with 120 feet of it, there's a lot of lashing I could do with this. You know how most survival kits include a few feet of brass wire for foot group? I for one do not have much faith in myself for trapping anything with that amount of wires, but it will do a lot of good for shelter building. This is a Swiss Army knife, and it is a 84mm Alox lumberjack. Swiss Army knife has been making multi-tool for the last 100 years and more. This lumberjack has a blade, saw, and combo tool for opening can and bottle. Besides a good blade with a decent back spring, I find Swiss Army knife saw very useful for breaking up wrist-sized wood. There exists a good number of decent survival kits on the market, but I think one of their biggest challenge is to include a good blade for their price point. Razor blade is a backup to the main tool, mainly for cutting cordage and the safety pins. They are good for making anchor points on the mylar sheet along with some duct tape, or they could be used as impromptu fish hooks. I prioritize the fire group right after the shelter group because it's really useful for keeping my core temperature in cold weather, and it's also good for signaling, and psychologically is a big morale booster to me. First and foremost, a lighter. I put on gun ties to prevent accidental gas leak, and I recommend to regularly check on this condition. I prefer the kind with adjustable flame to make fire starting easier. You may notice I've included a few different means to start fire for redundancy. For example, the 2 different ferro rods are great, even in high altitude or wet. Fresnel lens has multiple use. Tinder quick makes good tinder. They could be lit even when they are dumped in water, and the best part is, you could roll it into even more compact size. Another big challenge for a small survival kit is water container. Many small survival kits includes a few feet of aluminum foils, but from testing with different brands of aluminum foils, I have yet to find one that has no leaks. So I included these water bags with many water purification tabs, so my means to purify water is not completely dependent on successfully starting a fire. What good about this water bag is, it can stand on its own, resealable, and the size is a great match for using with purification tab. Last I checked, the Aquamirror sodium chloride tablets do meet the requirement of EPA for water purification, and from experience, the purification could be done in half an hour to 4 hours time, depending how clean is the water. Mind you, it does have a strong chlorine taste, but it is certainly better than diarrhea. Boiling water no doubt is still the best way to kill germs, and if I could start a fire, it would be my preferred way, and I included a heavy-duty aluminum foil to make a bowl. This foil is so heavy-duty that it's practically thin tin instead of thin foil, and I think it's far more usable and reliable option for boiling water. Here is a AA graded small compass from Survival Resources, and I do have to stress that the grading is mainly based upon how good is the water seal. It doesn't have anything to do with how well it works or how long will it work. Depending where you put your kit, I would really suggest to double check the compass every year. Again, many smartphones nowadays does have compass or GPS function included, and if you have preloaded the maps, then you should have no problem to navigate if you could get GPS signal. I usually wear a Casio Pro Track watch, which also has a decent compass on it. Food is the last priority for this 72 hours till rescue survival kit, because I don't trap or hunt for life, and instead of wasting all my calories to find food, I think chances for my survival will be much improved by addressing other priorities first. Therefore, I've included some basic fishing gears, which should enable me to make bank lines for fishing. The AMK Equipped to Survive Pocket Survival Pack instruction is a printable information sheet which has details on the survival priorities and some basic how-tos. The sock pen refill is just a very short and slim pen, and together with the rain paper, they are both good for leaving note in case I need to move. This Ranger band is nice to keep the lid of the box closed at all time, and the ball chain necklace will help to retain all my signal gears around my neck, so I could start signaling right away if I need to. Okay, so we pretty much went through all the items I have inside my small 72 hours till rescue outdoor survival kit. And thank you for sitting through this video with me. I hope I didn't bore you to sleep. And before the very end of this video, please allow me to share some extra thoughts before the end of the video. A survival kit will never replace skill, and it's not a permanent outdoor living solution. This survival kit will not increase your chances of being rescued if no one is planning to rescue you or looking for you. Please understand, the kit is only a part of the outdoor safety measures. Inform your friends and family about your outdoor plan. A small compact survival kit is generally more desirable, but there's only so much downsizing you could do before cutting into the performance of the gear. If you plan to buy a ready-made kit or any gears from the market, please don't falsely assume it will save your life when needed. If possible, do buy extra and practice with it. I confess I'm lucky enough to never have been stuck in an outdoor survival situation, but like living through hardships in life, I truly believe that the positive attitude is the most important gear in your kit. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Have a great day and play safe.